Just before we end today, I want to cover this story that just came out. So, Brussels has made a latest move. They've sent £3.2 billion to Ukraine. Yes, Ukraine, they're ignoring the pain that the citizens are facing. They're ignoring the economic decay. They're ignoring the energy crisis. They're ignoring all this, the inflation that they're seeing in their country. They're ignoring all that. And guess what? They're sending billions and billions to Ukraine. Right? This is the latest one they've done. It's not been picked up by the mainstream media yet, but guess what? We're faster than them, so we're going to report it. So Brussels has sent £3.2 billion to Ukraine, ignoring the pain that they face at home, ignoring the everything that they've seen in their country, the immigration problem and the illegal migration, all this sort of thing. And they're saying, hey, we're going to invest into this. But first, we're going to put Ukraine first. So they're sending billions to Ukraine. And they're saying, hey, this is for peace. That's what they're saying. This is for peace. Well, I don't know if this is for peace. This is for power. It seems like it that way. Because look what they just did with this entry-exit system, where now you have to show your face. You don't need a passport anymore, that they just launched in their country, and they're trying to get that to Ukraine. Because here's the things that they're funding in Ukraine. I'm going to tell you what they're funding in Ukraine, because I think that's important. Because a lot of people always think, hey, they're sending money for Ukraine war. No, sometimes they're sending money for something else. We don't really look deeper to understand what they're actually sending money for. It's not just for the war, it's for something else. They are building something there, because the war won't go forever. Somebody has to have enough power when the war ends. So guess what? What's the best time to start investing? Right now. Now, in 2024, they launched this huge campaign of like, hey, you know, £50 billion to Ukraine. Let's facilitate a support program for Ukraine. That's what they launched, right? Remember that? £50 billion for Ukraine in 2024, and almost every leader in Europe was like, yeah, what a noble idea. You know, France, we see Macron twerking out there, be like, yeah, let's do it. And they did. They approved it, and they sent billions and billions and billions. It was 50 billion euros. So now all they're doing is basically just paying that. Just a quick pause, guys. I need your help. We need your help, because this machine have tried everything. They've deplatformed us once. They've shadow banned us, as you can see from the views. Blacklisted us, and the channel remains demonetized. You want to know why? Because we report on something that they don't want you to know. But guess what? We're still here. We're still standing, broadcasting raw, unfiltered truth right through the technocrat machine that they want you to live in. They want your system. They want everybody to live in this machine, so then they can surveil and control and see what you're saying, see what you're not saying. But we resist that. But I have to be honest with you, yeah, we are running a little bit thin, and we need your help to keep this channel alive, because the bills, they can't pay themselves, as we already know it. The system, the server, the little crew that we got, the little studio that we have right now, it's all powered by you. All the donation that we get, it keeps this alive. This keeps the crew alive. And yes, I get it. They want to silence us. They want to shut down the show, because yeah, it's the last firewall between you and the psychological warfare that they call news. Because we tell the truth. We don't control the news. We give it to you raw, and you make your own decision with it. But here's the good news though, because there's many of us than them. Because we got a lot of freedom-loving warriors here listening to us like you. So I'm asking you, every listener who can chip in a few quid a month or once, not only gonna make us survive, but expand the team and expand the mission. So I'm asking you to keep us on air, keep the mission alive, and keep this voice on chain. Not just my voice, many other people who are asking for help too. So if you're able to, if you can, go to the link in the description, the first link in the description. Just leave something, leave a donation. It could be 50p, it could be £50, 500, it could be anything. We appreciate it. And I want you to know, this is not charity. This is a resistance. We're not here to beg, we're here to fight. As you already been seeing us fight. But with your help, we win. And we always win. Always. Let's get back into the video. because they promised 50 billion pounds and they said, hey, we're going to keep paying every quarter. So now every quarter they are sending billions and billions and billions and billions. And you might be thinking, Barack, what are these money? What is this money funding in Ukraine? Well, it's not just going to the war. It's going to, well, most of this are not going to the war. Here's what it's going for. It's going to fund public administration in Ukraine. Yeah, public administration in Ukraine. Next one is going to fund green transition. Ooh, did you think they're going to forget about this? Slap down the bill. Let's put some green transition in Ukraine, shall we? Yeah, you know, the cows are farting too much in Ukraine. So let's do a little transition there. So green transition. Digital reform. Ooh, yeah, let's invest some AI technology. Let's put this digital surveillance in Ukraine as well, so we can see where people are moving. You know, maybe we can introduce the entry exit system as well. What else are they investing? They're investing into critical raw mineral. I'm not sure how they got the idea of that. Maybe Trump kind of gave them the idea and they were like, oh, we don't want to lose out in that. Trump is wanting it, so we're going to try to get some of it as well. But by the way, this was launched in 2024, so I'm not sure. Yeah, this was launched in 2024. So this is what they're funding. And today, they are, well, obviously, they just sent money for that. They just sent a part of the money, and they are far away, to be fair. They've not sent that much. They need to send a lot more. They have to send way more. So here's what they've sent so far. They've sent, in 2024 Q3, they sent 4.2 billion. 2024, they sent another 4.2 billion. So that's 8.3 in 2024. So that's all they sent. Now this year, they didn't send anything in Q1, but they sent something in Q2. And that was 3.5. And now they just sent 3.2. So they are far away. They barely just touching 20 billion. They've not even touched so they are, yeah, they're like on 14 billion or something like that. They are far away to reach billion, and they have till 2027 to reach 50 billion. So brace yourself for an impact the next year. You're going to be seeing like 10 billion pounds sent to Ukraine, because hey, they pledged, they made a promise for this support program, so they have to deliver. And of course, they're not just doing this, they're not just funding this, what you call it, they're not just funding the transition of getting these guys to invest into getting these guys to invest into green technology. They're not just funding it because they're nice, cool guys who care about Ukraine. They're not just funding digital reform because, oh, we want the technology to work very fast in Ukraine. You know, there's something that they're going to get, and we're going to find out. And they're not just doing, hey, we are funding public administration in Ukraine so they can trust in their government, and you know, things can be run properly. You know, the councillors can get the money fast, and the people can get the benefits, and you know, buses can work on time. No, they're not doing that, man. There's something going on. We see what's going on. We just literally got to learn that the UK government was meddling with foreign European countries with their election, and they sent 10 million pounds into that to try get a left-leaning government in, and they failed. We just learned that now. So when these guys say, hey, we are funding public administration, they're not just funding, but they're trying to get a nice lefty government in that country. I'm not sure, but we've just seen what Keir Starmer. No, I'm not sure if it was Keir Starmer. I don't know if it was the Conservative, but we just got to learn that the UK government did that in 2024, 2023. I'm not sure. I need to look on it again. It's too much information I report at the time. Can't keep it in my top of my brain. But we just learned that. So these guys are doing something. They're not doing it because they care. Now, here's the problem though, because you would do that, like, it's okay for you to help somebody. I don't mind sending money to Ukraine and help them out if they need help. I don't mind that. But when you start sending money while your people are like suffering, while your people are in pain, while like you can't, You go to Tesco right now, if you go with 30, 50 pounds, you're barely getting anything. Unless you're getting essential stuff. And you're getting Tesco produced product. And maybe you can walk out with maybe a 2 bags. But if you're going to get good bread, good milk, good stuff, if you go with 50 pounds now, you're barely getting a bag. You know? Now, I remember when I used to go to shop with my parents. I remember my mom, we go to shop, it would be me and my little brother or me and somebody else because we need to go help out with the bags, right? And we come back with the taxi and stuff. So we go there, bags, and, we do, maybe she will spend like £100 that will come out with like I'll be pushing the trolley, and my little brother, no, he was very young then. Probably my sister or probably her. We'll be pushing the trolley. 2 trolleys will come out with just £100. And that was like maybe 10 years ago or something. But today, I'm living alone. I go out there with obviously I'm not spending £100 on food at once because I barely cook. I usually just barely go in the kitchen, so I usually just order my stuff. So when I go, I'm thinking, wait, even if I was to come with 100 here, there's no way I'll come out with a trolley, man. So that's the problem here. We're facing this inflation, things are going up, and we're seeing this economic decay rising. We got the problem with illegal migrants, we got the problem with jobs. But guess what? We have enough money to still send somewhere else, and it makes no sense. And I recently just learned that we send money to Pakistan as well. I'm like, what? Yeah, it's totally insane. Maybe, I'm not sure, maybe the return will be really high, and that's why we're investing into Ukraine and giving them billions and billions. Maybe I'm just unaware of the return on this investment. I hope it's big. I really do. But if it's just like some next change of governments and control, I'm not interested, man. I'm not interested. Bro, this is the story. I didn't want to miss it out, so I want to put it out there. £3.2 billion to Ukraine has been approved yesterday. It's gone out. It's gone out there, and there's more billions to be sent because we made a promise. And I guess the promise needs to be delivered. But yeah, that's the story. Thank you so much for watching. Until the head salute. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.
And the show host, Baraka Amuri.